Now it's time to press buttons and talk with Manky and ProZD.
Why don't they make a cereal called Bam Bams?
Cause fuck Bam Bam. Bam Bam sucks.
Wow, Bam Bam's a great, well-developed character.
I hate Bam Bam.
Such a strong opinion.
Bam Bam's an asshole.
Bam Bam is fine. What do you mean?
After being shot in the arm, it's plausible that Mr. Falls panicked. Therefore, he could have unwittingly pushed her off the side of the bridge.
If that's true, she would have fallen into the river. Well, Miss Hawthorne, is Mr. Edgeworth's explanation correct?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, now that you mention it, I do remember now when I fell off the bridge. My skirt got caught on one of the bridge's side wires. Totes my goats.
You can't be serious.
That sounds legit. Anyway, back to the Cocoa Pebbles, Fruity Pebbles discussion.
Order in the court.
I like Frosted Flakes.
We can have this debate at recess. Do not even bring Frosted Flakes into that. I know a bunch of weird Canadian cereals that you probably wouldn't even heard of.
Name one.
Jim Jams.
Jim Jams. I don't think that's a thing. It seems Ms. Face's assault has finally reached its conclusion.
Tim Hortons O's. Objection! Not now, Mia. This is no time to retreat.
Timos.
Unfortunately for you, this is just the start of Miss Faye's assault.
What?
I believe your reasoning went something like this, Mr. Edgeworth. After being shot in the arm, it's plausible that Mr. Falls panicked. Oh, I pooped in my pants.
I have not pooped in my pants yet.
Therefore, he could have unwittingly pushed her off the side of the bridge. I keep pooping in my...
I have not.
No.
No, I haven't.
However, once again, I'm forced to say that's impossible.
For the record, I have not pooped my pants once this trial. I bet you pooped your
pants 100 times this whole trial.
That is disgusting. Ridiculous. What's so impossible about it?
According to your books, you pee in your pants.
I need a word with my publisher.
Because your flawed logic contradicts the court record. What is he saying?
So he's claiming that they pushed her off the side. So there's got to be like a picture of...
where's like the photo?
Not this
or
one.
Not that one. I'm looking for the other photo, because it's probably... Yeah,
unless she's some fucking... what's her name from X-Men? Shadow Kitty.
Yeah. Or he hoisted
Shadow Cat.
Or he hoisted her over his head like Super Mario Brothers 2.
No, this is bullshit.
It's too hard. Your Honor, all of the answers are right here in this photo. Am I gonna have to point to the ropes on the bridge to make my point? Okay, good. Take a look at the wires supporting both sides of the bridge. They're tall boys. They extend up to about 5 feet off the ground. It would be impossible to push someone off from here.
No!
Objection! If someone told this bad of a lie in court, it's such an obvious lie.
We've already passed this point
immediately
several
destroy
times.
All their credibility. But let's remember the size and strength of the defendant. Wires like this wouldn't be a problem for him. He could have easily picked up a 14-year-old girl and thrown her over.
Objection! Come on, so young and already so forgetful, Mr. Edgeworth. Mr. Falls had been shot in the right arm. And more importantly, Valerie Hawthorne had her gun trained on him at point-blank range. Haha.
Dumbass.
So, Mr. Falls throwing the witness off the bridge? That is clearly impossible. I could do it. Shoot me in the arm and take me to the bridge. I will.
Okay, here I go.
Wait, no, let's get to the bridge first. Order, or don't shoot each other in the arms. What is wrong with you people? What is the meaning of this? Dahlia Hawthorne, you jumped into the Eagle River intentionally, for fun. What? What is this?
I jump off bridges all the time. It's
Yeah.
very easy. Objection! Indeed. What do you mean by such a ridiculous remark?
Yes, it's ridiculous. My sister was there to help me. She had her gun and handcuffs. She could have saved me. Jumping into a raging river like that would have been suicide.
Objection! Perhaps, but still that's exactly what you did, weirdo. You were probably confident that you could handle the swift current. But even more so, the witness had a much more compelling reason for jumping into the river.
Objection! Oh? Then what was it? What was so important that she'd want to jump into the river?
The witness is still alive. This fact alone explains everything. This is why she risked her life by jumping into the rapids of the Eagle River.
She wanted that big fruity pebble.
She wanted that big fruity pebble. 5 years ago, something else disappeared along with Dahlia that day.
Cupcake pebbles.
Cupcake pebbles, rest in
missed.
peace. The item that Valerie brought up to the mountain with her. That $2 million fruity pebble.
Ah! No, it can't be.
Yes, Dahlia had it all planned from the beginning. The $2 million, she was going to keep it all for herself. She forced Mr. Falls to help her fake the kidnapping. Bang. At the last minute, she betrayed him and threw herself into the river. With the ransom tucked away safely in her backpack. Did she have a backpack? Have we talked about that? She had a backpack.
I guess she did.
I just decided that.
Uh-oh.
Oh.
Why, that's simply ridiculous. Huh?
I'd go crazy for fruity pebbles, too.
Wait,
I would
she had a
jump into a
backpack?
river.
That throws the whole case in a different direction. Your Honor, 5 years ago, the witness was only 14 years old. Do you really think a 14-year-old is capable of such a demonic plan?
This woman is a demon. Literally. And there was one more person who helped make a demon out of her. Her sister, Valerie Hawthorne. You mean the victim was involved in a kidnapping plot as well?
Objection! But she was a detective then. You're saying she participated in her sister's kidnapping?
Precisely. I'm sure that it weighed heavily on her conscience for the past 5 years. This is the sole reason behind the victim's murder. What do you mean by that? On the day of the murder, after receiving the phone call from Mr. Falls, Valerie called her sister, Dahlia. And then she told her what she was planning to do. Planning to do. What does that mean?
She was going to tell the whole truth, as she wrote in her note.
That is what sealed Valerie Hawthorne's fate. That is when you hatched your demonic plan to kill 2 birds with 1 stone. A plan that would ensure neither of your accomplices to the kidnapping would talk. And that is why you killed your sister, Valerie Hawthorne. I'm lost. What is... Who is that laughing at a time like this?
Forgive me. It's just hilarious.
Witness? Is that you?
You amuse me, woman. Ms. Mia Fey.
Huh.
You can certainly weave an exciting tale. Naturally, you have the evidence to back it up, don't you?
Evidence?
Evidence that I planned the kidnapping, of course. That at 14, I plotted it with Mr. Falls and my sister.
Well,
And one more thing. What happened to the $2 million diamond? If you can't provide evidence to at least show that...
Well, Miss Fey, I don't know.
What a joke. You, Miss Fey. Are you stupid or something?
Yeah, she's very stupid.
We're all pretty stupid.
She's a dumbass. Everybody's stupid. How can I prove a fake kidnapping that happened 5 years ago? I don't even have decisive proof of Valerie Hawthorne's murder. Well, it seems that we've come to the end. To be honest, the witness's behavior does raise certain suspicions, like quite a few suspicions, like more suspicions than I've ever seen in one trial. However, I am forced to reject the assertions made by the defense. Because of this one little thing.
Of course you are.
Is this it? Is it really over? That girl has made a fool of me and there's nothing I can do about it.
Ha! Without evidence, the trial is over? Who decided that?
The judge just now. Mr. Armando!
Come on now, kid. Haven't you figured out that you can make your own rules? Cool rules? For example, even if there's no evidence, there's still testimony.
Mia's cool rules. Testimony?
No, that's my thing. You can't take my thing.
Oh, I thought you were, like, passing that on to me. I thought,
that's
okay.
my cool rules.
Cool, okay. I don't know what to do with that thing you told me then. Testimony.
On the day in question, Dahlia Hawthorne murdered her sister, Valerie Hawthorne. She hid her body in the trunk of Mr. Falls' stolen car, and then went to meet with him. Disguised as her sister, Valerie Hawthorne. That's what you think, right?
Yes, that's right.
In that case, there's only one answer, right? There is only one person left who can testify about Valerie Hawthorne's murder.
Since there's no proof, there's only one thing left to do. Who is the one person that can testify to that demon woman's crimes? Probably Terry, right?
Yep, demon woman,
Demon. Your Honor, the defense wishes to call a new witness. Sick of this girl. A new witness? Yes, we would like to hear the testimony of Terry Falls.
The defendant?
There is only one person that can shed any further light on the situation. Only one person that knows what Dahlia's role in the kidnapping was. Only one person that can say whether the person in the photo was Valerie Hawthorne, or whether it was in fact her younger sister Dahlia, disguised as her. There's only one person who can solve this riddle once and for all, and that person is Terry Falls. I thought you were talking about me.
I don't know anything about this case.
Why would it be one of you? Okay. Well, Mr. Edgeworth, what is your take on this?
Why not? The prosecution has no objection.
Very well. Bailiff, Bill, bring the defendant to the witness stand.
You don't need to tell me what to do.
I mean, I'm just asking you a favor. You're the closest
Bill,
one.
can you just do him a solid?
Well,
I mean, that's fine.
don't make a habit out of this or anything.
I'm here to watch, you know.
Well, it's okay. This will be the one and only time we ask you to do something. This is my last chance, Mr. Falls. My last chance to establish Dahlia's guilt. You're all I have left. Fell asleep? Defendant.
Sorry.
Had a little snooze there. You've heard everything that's been said up to this point, yes?
I don't believe it. No way. Dahlia died 5 years ago. Valerie betrayed me.
Mr. Falls, I don't know what she said to you 5 years ago, but one thing is clear. Dahlia is very much alive, and you were used for $2 million.
That's not true.
Mr. Falls, there's only one question I want the answer to. 2 days ago on Dusky Bridge, who did you meet? Was it Valerie Hawthorne or was it Dahlia Hawthorne?
Dahlia, did you betray me?
Yes.
5 years ago, she promised never ever betray each
That's
other.
a weird promise to make.
By the way, never ever betray each other. Pinky swear.
Yeah, I was gonna, okay.
Terry?
Dahlia, it's true. You are alive.
You don't trust me anymore? That makes me sad.
Tell the truth, the real truth. I believed in you.
I shouldn't need to say it. You should already know. But there is one thing I will say. My life is in your hands right now, Terry.
Dahlia.
Hawthorne.
I will now allow Mr. Falls to testify once and once only. Well then, Mr. Falls, yours will be the final testimony in this trial. Did you hear? Okay, witness. Eek! I'm sorry, I apologize.
Water, please, Mizu.
Mizu, what does that mean?
Water, can't talk, need Mizu.
Ha! Oh well, I guess it'll have to be my coffee instead. At least it'll match the way he's probably feeling right now. Darker and bitterer than hell itself.
Oh,
Who Terry Falls saw.
Who the heck did Terry Falls see?
That day, 4 p.m., I stopped the car. I was in front of Bridge. She wasn't there, so I waited on Bridge. I watched my car from Bridge. I never put no body in that car. Finally, one woman came. She stood in front of me. We talked, then she left. That was Valerie, not my Dahlia.
Wonder what y'all talked about. Mr. Falls, you're covering for her. Do you think she would do the same for you?
Objection! That's enough, Miss Fay. His last statement was a fitting way to end the final testimony of the trial.
Well then, Miss Fay, please proceed with your cross-examination. Is this how you wanted to end, Mr. Falls? Maybe we'll see how it ends on the next episode.
Eh, Mr. Falls?
Mr. Falls?
Will it be good end or bad end?
What do you think, Mr. Falls?
I don't know.
Well,
Want some
okay.
bijou?
That's all you're thinking about right now, huh?